Hey guys, so glad to see you guys. I am exhausted. I hope that my sound is working well, so just let me know if you can hear me, and if you can't hear me for any reason, let me know. But first I want to say thanks so much. Sometime when I was on my honeymoon, I surpassed 1,500 subscribers and came home and was like, oh my God, what the hell? So I just want to thank all of my newest subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing, and for all of you people who have been supporting me since the beginning. Thank you so much for sticking around. I am exhausted. I don't know if you guys can tell, like, this is, bags under the eyes. I feel very, very loopy. It's really weird to now be 12 hours in the past when I was 12 hours in the future before. So trying to get used to that. And Disney is in 4 days, so I better get used to it because I'm going to have to go once I get there. Hey guys, hey Julian, hey Lion, Jacob, Andrew, Rob, thank you for joining. I'm glad I do look tan. I was doing a lot of laying on a beach, laying poolside. I think I got most of my tan in Thailand. It was incredibly hot in Thailand. The countries we went through gradually got a little cooler. Cambodia was just a smidge less hot, a smidge, and then Vietnam was a lot cooler. But yeah, it was from all that beach time that we had. So what happened to Disney Hong Kong? I'm going to tell you guys a short story. I don't want to dwell on it, because I'm still really bummed about it. But the short version is, I was supposed to leave on Friday the 5th. Our flight got canceled because we had a really big snowstorm in New York, and that is totally understandable. I get it. You can't really get around weather. We were supposed to lose a day. We were bummed, but we were still going to have a couple of days in Hong Kong. Push it to now we're trying to get our new flight at 1 in the morning. And about 20 minutes before we had to board, they pushed our flight back 24 hours. We were already at the airport. It's 1 in the morning almost, or it's like 12:20. Peter actually had food poisoning, so he was like getting sick in the airport. It was terrible. It was just a terrible, terrible evening. And then they tell us that we're pushed back another 24 hours, and I realized we're not making it to Hong Kong. We lost money on our hotel, unfortunately. We lost out on going to Hong Kong Disneyland. I was very, very upset at the time. I'm over it now. We got to still have our vacation, and that's the really important part. We still got to have the time that we had and got to celebrate. And so that's it. You got to move forward from here, and hopefully we'll be back in China again. Peter keeps saying, like, you know what, we'll do another trip. We'll do China proper, and we'll do Shanghai too, and we'll do both parks. So, it is what it is. That's it. So I'm sorry that you won't be seeing a Hong Kong Disneyland video. I did shoot some footage of just the different countries. So if that's something you're interested in, they're going to be short, very tiny, quick vlogs, anywhere from like 5 to 7 minutes, just so you guys can see some of the cool stuff that we did get to see when we were in Thailand and Cambodia and Vietnam. Lion, I am going to be blogging the Disney trip. So that's actually going to be my topic for today. I want to talk a little bit about my plans for the upcoming trip, and just kind of what we have set. If you guys don't know, Rob of Rob Plays That Game is actually going tomorrow. And I knew that I wasn't going to be up for going right away tomorrow, not with coming home yesterday. So I am not meeting him in Florida until Thursday. And I'm going to be staying with him and his girlfriend, Kat. And then I'm staying through till Monday. So right now, I know Rob made like this crazy Excel sheet, which is actually really funny because he's normally not this organized, but he did it because I'm coming down at a certain point, and I believe his girlfriend's parents are going to be there at a certain point, and there's a lot of different people and things kind of going on. So he like created this Excel sheet that I can literally tell you what my schedule is just by looking at it. So Thursday, they'll be in Epcot in the morning. So my plan is I land at 10 a.m., gonna drop off my stuff and then go meet them at Epcot, and then we finish out Magic Kingdom. Thursday's really exciting because that evening we are going to do the Star Wars VR in Disney Springs. and I am so pumped. I've been hearing nothing but amazing things about this. So it's probably going to be the most exciting day is our first day. And we also want to check out the Edison. We wanted to go get drinks there, but I hear that they have a dress code. It's supposed to just be like a dressier bar. So I don't know if I'm like in the mood to have to like adhere to a dress code on Thursday night, but we'll see. Maybe we'll check it out. But yeah, that's going to be a really, really exciting night in Disney Springs. And then the next day, apparently we have more Epcot. I didn't make the schedule. I'm just following his schedule. So Friday morning we have Epcot again, and then Animal Kingdom in the evening. We'll be doing some Avatar stuff. At that point, Rob will have already seen it for his first time. I wish I could be there for that. But we'll definitely be doing a lot of that in the evening. Then Saturday, he's going to Epcot and I'm going to Animal Kingdom. I'm actually doing the Caring for Giants tour, which is a hour tour where they take you through where they take care of elephants. They talk a lot about the process of what they do there at Animal Kingdom, and then you get to chill and take some photos pretty close to elephants. So it sounds like it's going to be a really good time. I'm doing that like first thing in the morning, like 9 a.m. And then we're going to the Magic Kingdom. Then we're doing reverse on Sunday, Magic Kingdom, and then Epcot. And then on the last day, we're doing Animal Kingdom in the morning and then some Hollywood Studios. I might do some more Hollywood Studios earlier because I think he already has that time before I come where he's going. And right now I only have like half a day there. So I might try to sneak in some more Hollywood Studios time prior to, even though we all know that it's like a quarter day park now. So, you know, but hopefully I can get like a few rides on Rock and Roller Coaster and all of that in there. Cool. So that's kind of like my plan. I'm meeting a few people down there. Theme Park Brews, I don't know if he's still here in the chat, but we're supposed to be meeting up on Sunday. So I need your number, dude. We'll figure that out. We're going to do a couple of videos together, which is going to be really fun. And we're hoping to see some other people down there as well that we know. If you guys are going to be down there at all, or you live in the area and you're going to be there, when we're down there, just check our Twitter. We're probably going to be tweeting every day, like exactly where we are, because sometimes our schedule isn't set, you know, things change. So if you do want to find us, to say, hey, take a photo, hang out, whatever, definitely check our Twitter. We will let you know what parks we will be in when. Julian, so we are staying in 2 resorts. Art of Animation is the first resort that they will be in when I get down there. Little Mermaid room. We didn't go fancy. We went with the Little Mermaid room. But Kat, his girlfriend, actually has to leave on Saturday. She has work on Sundays. So after that, when she leaves, we will be checking out of Art of Animation, literally walking across the lake to Pop. And then Rob and I will just be staying in Pop until Monday. So keeping it pretty, you know, low-key value. Art of Animation worked for us as 3 people because we could split the room cost a little bit better. I'm excited. I've never stayed at I can't even talk. I've never stayed at Art of Animation before. So I've never like seen, you know, the area and all of that. So I'm excited to kind of explore it a bit. Hey Jamie, oh, so glad to see you here. Hi from World Showcase. Jamie is this really cool cast member who I've met a couple of times when I've been down there. So hello, hopefully I'll run into you again. Julian, yes, I am vlogging there. I always vlog my trips day by day, as opposed to like the honeymoon. Like I said, that's gonna be like, here's a whole, you know, Thailand video, here's a whole Cambodia video in like 5 minutes. I mean, my Disney vlogs I do, here's what we've done every day. I usually split them into probably like part 1, part 2, because I'm always like vlogging everything down there. So 100% will be vlogging everything. I'm pretty sure Caring for Giants is one of those tours that I can video. So if that's possible, that will be on there too. But yeah, everything will be vlogged. Lion, I love Coronado Springs. That is one of my favorite moderates. So I say yes, if you have the ability to stay in Coronado Springs, do it. It is not as themed as like the values are. It is, I would almost say, it almost feels like you're entering into deluxe era a little bit, just because it's quieter, it's big, it's really beautiful. It just, I don't know. I really like the resort. I know some people have like mixed feelings on it, but I think Coronado has always been good to me, every time I've stayed there. So, I mean, last time I stayed there, they upgraded me to a ridiculous suite, so I cannot complain about that resort. PhD Princess, can't believe I'm going to be missing you by just a few days. I'll be staying in Coronado Springs because of your glowing recommendation. Awesome. I'm so glad you're staying there. I promise you'll have a great time. I don't know if you're a drinker, but if you are, they have really good strawberry daiquiris at this bar that is literally right next to the lake. Like, as soon as you walk out of the lobby, there's a little bar right there. And they are delicious. I'm sure they do mocktail versions too if you don't drink. But it's really great to just sit there and like relax. It's really, really beautiful. The pool is really cool too. Julian, I'm staying at the Coronado in July. Did you get the new rooms? No, when I was there, they were still working on it, which might be part of the reason why it was kind of fairly empty and they were able to upgrade me. They were still doing a whole bunch of construction when I was last there. So no new rooms for me at the time. Man, a lot of people staying at Coronado. Morganic staying in Coronado in July. Guys, I love you guys. Everybody go to Coronado. That's totally my thing. Cool. I don't know if you guys have any other questions about this upcoming trip. I know somebody actually left me a question on the community tab unrelated to Disney, but they asked me really quickly that they knew that Peter and I used to live together before we were married, and if married life felt any different. And I have to say no, and I say that in the best way possible. Like, yeah, we lived together for 3 years. Oh my gosh, yes, 3 years before we got married. We've been together 5.5 years before we got married. It doesn't feel different, but I think that's a positive. You know, just our relationship feels as great as ever, and it feels normal. It doesn't feel like there's some big change or anything. So yeah, I think the whole thing of like, how's married life, which everyone loves to ask you for some reason, I literally just say the same as not married life. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is supposed to be. Maybe mine's not as exciting, but Rob said Coronado super quiet. Didn't seem like a lot of people in our area. The small pool was closed. Oh, that's a shame. When I was staying, my room was literally across from the small pool. Like, you opened my door and you could like see it. And it was open when I was there, but this was last summer. And it was quite busy actually. There was a lot of people there pretty late. I think there was a conference, which was why. So there was like quite a few people there. Morganic says, have you ever stayed at a deluxe hotel? The Polynesian deluxe room is like so nice, but it's $2,000 a night. I mean, depending on the value of the season. Oh my god, this is my jet lag kicking, guys. This is not being able to talk. Depending on the season, yes, it can be very expensive. My trip last January, a year ago, I was very lucky to stay at 2 deluxes, and I had never had before. I stayed one night in the Grand Floridian because I stayed with my friend Keith. He's a cast member, and he was able to get a discount. So we did one night there, which was like really fun. And then I split another room with a friend at the Polynesian for 2 nights towards the end of our trip. Polynesian is my dream hotel. It's my favorite hotel. If I could stay there, if I had the money to stay there every single time, I would. And yeah, I mean, it was crazy to go from never staying at a deluxe to staying at 2 in a single trip. As well as the boardwalk, which I had never stayed in. So I don't know if I'll ever have a trip like that again, where like I'm staying in that many fancy resorts. It just so happened that everything sort of aligned. But the Polynesian's amazing. It's so amazing to just walk out of the lobby and like right into the monorail and like get to the Magic Kingdom in 5 minutes. There's just nothing better than that. What are you most excited for? What are you most excited about for Festival of the Arts? So I did Festival of the Arts the first year, last year. That year, it was only weekends that it was open. So if you went to Epcot during the week, there was nothing going on. It was just Friday to Sunday, kind of like the old Star Wars weekends. And then this year is the first year that they're expanding it, where the festival is happening every single day of the week. So I'm kind of excited for that. I'm excited that I don't have to like necessarily plan my days around it to be able to experience it. There is this one artist oh my gosh, I have to look up his name. It's Will, and I can't remember his last name off the top of my head. I will look it up for you guys. But he has these like amazing looking pieces of art. He's going to be there. He's going to be signing. So I'm excited to see his work. I just like seeing all the different tents with all the different artists and the work that they do. I feel like a lot of the time we see these artists constantly in like the all the different art stores there, but we don't get to actually interact with them much. So I think it's really cool to be able to just like walk up and talk to these people who make these amazing things. And I'm excited for the food. I love food and wine, and I feel like this festival has become a mini food and wine, and I'm not complaining about that at all. Organic, have you ever been to the Port Orleans Riverside Hotel? I haven't. I've only actually stayed in the French Quarter a couple of times, but I've not stayed in Riverside. I've walked through it. It's really lovely because they're connected. So you can walk through, you can use each other's pools. It's one of the few situations where you can do that in multiple resorts. But I haven't actually stayed there. Jamie says, how's your trip? If you were in Epcot right now, where would you eat? And are you going to get your annual pass back? Good questions. First of all, the trip was wonderful. I would highly recommend it. I know Southeast Asia is pretty far for a lot of people. It's funny because you see a lot of Australians there, Russians there, Chinese there because it's so close for them. But we did see a few Americans. Just a beautiful continent, beautiful countries. The people there are just so friendly, have great senses of humor. I think seeing the temples in Cambodia is something everyone should try to do in their lives. Like, it was just a fantastic trip. If I was in Epcot, I would eat... I think Spice Road. I haven't been able to eat there yet. I've had like drinks there, but I haven't like had a full meal there. So I do want to eat at Spice Road. Maybe I'll make that happen this trip. And am I getting my annual pass back? I'm still on the fence. So I have a ticket right now, and I have to crunch some numbers and see if I can upgrade it when I get down there. And if it's possible, then I will upgrade it. Because I do really want to go again in the fall at the very least, with Toy Story Land opening. If I can even fit in a smaller like weekend spring trip, that would be cool too. And so obviously getting an annual pass would make more sense. That, and I know having one means that like at the art festival, I'm going to get like a free piece of artwork, and like I want that. I want free stuff. So I don't know. I guess that'll be a game time decision when I get down there. Lola says, how do you deal with the Disney haters? Do you mean like people who just don't like it or like don't understand why we go? My husband's kind of fun. No, he's not a hater. He doesn't really like it. So in terms of that, we have a mutual understanding of like, I'm not going to make him go when I go, and he's not going to stop me from going. I guess for other people, it depends on how open they are to listen to your opinion, and I try to explain my position, but if I feel like they're still just going to look down on me or whatever it might be, then you know what? That conversation's over. Let's move on to something else. There's no point in trying to convince people if that's not something that they're into. And of course, if they want to be insulting about it, I say don't bother with those people at all. Don't waste your time. Don't waste another day on people that like don't really understand why you love something. It's not worth it. It's not worth the effort. Is it true Coronado Springs has a couple of different bus stops? It is true. I believe they have 3 or 4. So the lobby is usually not the first one. When you're coming back from the parks, it doesn't go to the lobby first. It goes to different sections. So I think there's 3 sections and then the lobby. I find if your room is near the lobby or you want to just get to the lobby, don't stay on the bus and do the whole loop. It's actually faster to get off at the first stop, which I think is like Casitas or something, and then just walk back. Like, you're actually going to save more time. I've beaten the bus a million times when I've wanted to go to the lobby for whatever reason, by getting off at that first stop and walking back to the lobby rather than riding the bus the entire way around, because it is a very big resort. Good news is if you are in the back of the resort or whatever, You don't have to have a very long walk from the lobby to get there. You have a bus stop that will get you right there. Let's see. Daffy Stardust, what's up, dude? What are you eating this time? Like, in general, what am I eating? Where am I eating? Rob has a few, let's go back to our doc, shall we? Rob has a few things set for us. There was a lot of conversation of like, hey, you want to eat this restaurant? Okay. Like, so we have some things set, but I don't even remember what half of them are. Let's see. So we don't have anything set on Thursday, which is probably for the best because we have the Star Wars VR thing. So I think trying to do a dinner or anything might be a little tough. Oh yes, we are finally doing lunch at Whispering Canyon. None of us have ever eaten at Whispering Canyon before, so we are doing that for sure. I'm excited about that. I will ask for ketchup and all the other crazy things that they do there. Rob and I also had breakfast at Crystal Palace one morning. I've done that before, but I haven't done it in a while, so I really wanted to do it. I think it's a really fun character experience, but I also just like breakfast buffets. And it's so conveniently in Magic Kingdom, so that's part of the reason why we're doing it. I'm pretty sure he also set us up for another restaurant that I don't even see on here. I don't know if he like actually put it on there yet. But otherwise, I think we're kind of winging it. I think I'm probably going to do more quick service this trip because we did just spend a lot of money on the honeymoon, and so I need to go a little bit cheaper this trip. So definitely staying within a budget and probably doing a bit more quick service for a lot of my meals. Organic, what is your favorite All-Star hotel, and what are your thoughts on the rooms? Because I've heard that people say they're outdated. I think my personal favorite theming wise is the movies resort. I just like that it has like all of the classic movies there. But they are very similar. I mean, they really are just copies of each other. So I don't feel like one necessarily outweighs another. Some of the rooms are outdated. I will agree with that. There's one of her last vlogs with Rob. We were cracking up because we turned a light on in the bathroom and it literally like flickered on like a creepy horror movie. And it's just, you know, there's definitely need to fix like lighting fixtures, maybe update the bathrooms a little bit. There definitely could be some updates to the rooms. They do feel old. But obviously they're doing a lot of upgrades across all the resorts right now. So they are obviously well aware that like things need to change. And this kind of stuff, that kind of construction just takes a lot of time. I still think like if you just want a roof over your head, they're totally still viable options, and they can be really cheap depending on the season. And if you can get like some sort of seasonal discount, it's like even better. What were you most looking forward to at Hong Kong Disneyland? I really wanted to ride Mystic Manor, which was one of the rides that everyone talks about being one of the best ones in like all of the parks. So yeah, pretty bummed about that. But I did go shopping. Oh, I wish I had this stuff with me. I should have brought it with me. Maybe I'll post on like Instagram or something. I did go shopping at the Hong Kong Disneyland Airport store. I was like, you know, just because I can't go to the parks doesn't mean I can't buy the merchandise. So I went in. They were actually having a sale on their t-shirts. So I got one shirt that I think might be able to be found in Disney World. It's a Star Wars shirt. And then I got this awesome Donald shirt that's like weirdly pixelated, and it's just so weird. It's like he's swimming in an ocean with like Chip and Dale. And on the back, there's like another Donald getting chased by a shark. I don't know. It's weird. It's awesome. I'm going to be wearing it down on my trip this week. And then I got Rob a little like chibi Captain America keychain because they had these like really cute keychains. So, you know, might not step foot in the parks, but I still bought some of the merch. So it's all good. PhD Princess, yes. So annual passes, there's usually like some sort of free something at a lot of these festivals. Food and Wine does it as well. It's like free artwork, like it's a little, you know, signed, it's a print. It's not, you know, like an original piece or anything like that. It might change every weekend. I'm not sure. I noticed someone on Instagram recently had one and it was Belle for this past weekend. there's usually a spot in the parks where you can go to pick it up when you show your annual pass. So yeah, but that's actually a fairly common thing with a lot of the festivals. There's usually some sort of little freebie for annual pass holders. And then there's also like annual pass holder exclusive merch, which is you have to buy it, but you can only buy it if you are an annual pass holder. We are not doing Hoop-de-Doo this time, Jacob. We've done it the past few times. But not this time. Also because we're just a smaller group. I find like it's a little bit more fun when you have like a really big group, and like Rob and I love introducing new people to Hoop-de-Doo, but we won't be doing it this time. Let me know how Spice Road is. I'm eating there in April. Yeah, I will definitely let you know. I definitely want to make it happen. Apparently we're going to be in Epcot a lot. I don't know. Rob made this schedule, and we're just in Epcot all day, every day, apparently. So I'm sure I'll have time to eat there. When are you going to Disney World? I'm going Thursday. So Rob's leaving tomorrow. He'll be there for 3 days, and then I fly out bright and early from New York. I have like a 7 a.m. flight. I'm very lucky that I live quite literally a 5 to 6 minute drive from LaGuardia Airport. So now I always like fly out of there. So it's literally like rolling out of bed about 15 minutes before I need to actually be at the airport, and then taking a cab for 5 minutes and getting there. But it is going to be a super early flight. You made it! Oh, Theme Park Brews. Great to see you, dude. I was just saying earlier about how we're hanging out on Sunday, and we still have to like work our plans out, but I'm excited to make some videos with you then. The Disnerd says I'm staying at Pop, my first Disney resort in May. Any thoughts? Well, I'll be at Pop for a few days towards the end. Sorry, again, jet lag brain fried. Saturday to Monday, I will be at Pop. I've been at Pop many times before, pretty much since like when it first opened, and I stay at their, I try to stay at Pop as much as I can. It's gotten a bit pricier than the other 3 All-Stars, but I prefer it because the rooms are a little bigger, they're a little nicer. I think Pop is a really great resort. It is very busy, so that's something to keep in mind, but they do have their own bus, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, it's a quintessential, Disney, resort, very bright, very cheery. I love the, lobby is really cool. There's a lot to see in there. And I've always been a really big fan of it as far as like value goes. Should I buy the Figment 35th anniversary Magic Band? Is it worth it? I think if you like a design of a Magic Band, you should buy it. I don't think you should worry about if it's limited edition or not. I haven't really bought any limited editions yet, but I was kind of eyeing some of the Last Jedi ones because they looked really, really cool. But that's kind of my thing. Like, if I'm buying a Magic Band, I just want to like what it looks like. I want to like the design. It's less about what edition it is. So I think if you really like the design, if you really love Figment, then yeah, you should totally get it. It's totally worth it. Do you like the new rooms at Pop Century? I haven't seen them in person, but I have seen plenty of videos, photos, this and that, and they do look nicer than what they had. It kind of makes me hope that, the All-Stars will follow suit. They'll start updating some of those rooms as well, into a more just cleaner, crisper room. But like I said, they're very basic rooms, but I feel like they do what you need them to do, and you still get that aspect of free transportation and all of that goodness that you get for staying on Disney property. So, yeah, I think it's totally worth it. What's something in Disney World that you would tell people not to do? Ooh, that is a good question. Don't set your expectations too high. As in, don't think you're going to see and do everything. It is very, very big. And even though I've been plenty of times, there's always something every trip that I plan to do that I didn't get to do. Whether it's a ride or eating somewhere or catching certain entertainment. there's just not enough hours in the day. So be realistic, and don't set too high of expectations or be disappointed if you can't hit every single thing on your list, because you're still going to be able to do a lot of amazing things. And then I would also say, just be aware of how you are with other people around you. Just don't be rude among other people. I think it's really easy to get hot and bothered, and dealing with like big groups of people can get you agitated, but don't line cut. Try to keep your cool in certain situations. Just be your pleasant self, and I feel like then your trip will go as well as it possibly can. That's another good one too. Taking breaks. I mean, it's funny because I just said that in my daily routine that I don't really take breaks too much, but I try to now. Like I really do try to slow down a little bit, because you do really wear yourself out, especially if you have a long trip, and you keep going for like 4 or 5 days. By day 6, you're just gonna be exhausted. So take, even if it's mini breaks, even if it's just like, I'm gonna go from Magic Kingdom to the Contemporary to eat lunch, just to like have a half an hour somewhere else. Do that. What's my favorite area of pop? I don't think that, I mean, I'm one of those people at every resort, I like being by the lobby. If you could put me by the lobby, I'm happy, because the less I have to walk to get to all the main parts, the better. So I don't really have a favorite area. I'm just one of those people who always, if possible, request being as close to lobbies as possible. It just makes life easier. Rob says, I always go kamikaze. Some people in my group are not as much up to speed as me. Yeah, same. And I think I learned a valuable lesson the last time I went with a group of 10 people, because a couple of people that I was with just couldn't physically do it. And I realized that I was very much in my head of how I wanted to tour Disney, and I wasn't necessarily giving them what they needed in terms of going to Disney and slowing down. And I realized this after a couple of days, and I think it's really important. It's like, you have to make it work, especially when you're in a group of people. And once I was able to kind of slow down with them, it was actually kind of fun to like take it easy a little bit. But it's also like, be mindful of the people around you and the people that you're traveling with. And especially if you go often, do what you can to accommodate like what they're comfortable with touring. And if that means taking multiple breaks, then take multiple breaks. I think everyone has to kind of come to a compromise on their style of touring. So Morganic, I have never eaten at Cinderella's Royal Table. That's the thing I have never done. I have eaten lunch at Be Our Guest. I've not done the dinner. I think Be Our Guest is beautiful. I think even if you don't have a reservation, you should walk into it. They let you can walk in. You can tell if you just want to see it. They've never stopped me before. And the rooms are incredible. And as someone who was, especially as a little girl, a really big Beauty and the Beast fan, it's just unbelievable to see the rooms of his castle like really there in front of you. So I don't know. I mean, it's just really awesome. But I haven't eaten at Cinderella's Royal Table, so I can't give you an honest comparison because I don't know what that's like. What's a good way to tell your friends that you want more time to go solo? I'm afraid I'll hurt their feelings. So I assume that you're like with a group, but you want to have some breakaway time, right? I think the best way that I found to do it is in the moments where maybe you don't agree with what you want to do next is the best time to break away. So instead of just saying like, hey, today I just want to be alone, which might be a little bit of a weird, awkward conversation. Maybe you all go to Magic Kingdom, but you say like, hey, I want to really take some time to sit and watch the Dapper Dans, or I know you guys want to go on Space, but I really want to go on Splash. How about we just like split up for a bit and then we'll just meet up together so, we can all do what we want to do. And that's a really good time to just like break away and do what you want to do. And then maybe after Splash, go into a store and shop a little, whatever it is, set up a meeting time, in a couple of hours. And I think that makes it easier for people because they know they're going to meet up with you again at some point. And it's not just like saying, hey, ew, I don't want to spend time with you. Because I think that's how some people take it. And it's not really that. It's just that you want to do what you want to do and you don't want to miss out on those experiences. So I think kind of separating for a time and coming back together is usually a really good way to do it. Bye, Julian. Thank you for joining. Jamie goes, I'm back. I just walked by Italy and it reminded me, are you buying a Venetian mask? Probably, even though I need to stop doing it. You guys can't see them. They're actually like here, and literally they are just past my treadmill over here. I wish you could see it on this wall. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 9 masks on this wall right now. And I will probably buy another one. I'm pretty sure the people there remember me. Like every time I walk in, I'm like, hi, I'm here. I always buy masks here. And I think the woman who's always like manning the desk like knows my face now, which is so weird. Lola says, how do you book your rooms? Is there a way to get the best price? I would say check for deals online. Sign up for like their newsletters. If you've already been, they should also be emailing you. So check, it doesn't go into your promotions tab on your Gmail or something, because they will start emailing you codes, and those codes will be for discounts on rooms. I get them all the time. It's usually like anywhere from 20 to 30%, depending on the type of resort and depending on the time frame. See you later, Theme Park Brews. I'll be seeing you in a week. I'm sure we'll catch up. I will DM you. We'll figure it out. Thank you for joining. So yeah, check that. And then if you go online when you're actually booking a room, you can usually see multiple deals that they're currently having. So they'll have them up there, whether it's a spring deal or what have you. So that's the best way to do it. You can also call. If you call and just ask, are there any discounts being run? They're going to let you know if there's one that's being currently run, if there's one coming up for specific stays, and then you can like plan your dates accordingly. Rob, so Venetian masks are masks that are traditionally made in Italy. They are almost like masquerade masks. So some of the ones I have hanging up are like ones that you can literally tie on your face if you wanted to, like those half masks. Some are just full masks that are more like for decor. They're sometimes made of paper mache. They're sometimes made of ceramic. And there's a whole back area in Italy where they sell a bunch of them, and they actually make them there on property. So I collect them, and the collection is ever growing. Have you ever considered becoming a DVC member? Yes, I've considered it, and then I've realized I'm too broke to do it. But I would love to. When I stayed in the boardwalk in January, it was because one of my good friends, his sister is DVC, and she had points, so she said, hey, I'll book the room for you, which was like amazing. Boardwalk is their home resort. So I actually got to stay in a DVC room, one of the suites that they have with the kitchen and like all of that, and it was super, super cool. But it is just a very expensive thing to do. Maybe one day, I would like to. It depends also like how many kids I have and like what our plans are as a family. But I mean, DVC would be awesome. I feel like that's like, you go annual pass and then DVC is like the real elite tier, so maybe one day. I love asking the mask shopkeeper questions about the designs. Yeah, they do really interesting designs at that shop. Like now they try to do some more contemporary things. The last time I was there, they had a Rick and Morty mask, which was really interesting. So they're definitely trying to do like more interesting stuff instead of just the classic designs. How's the freelancing going? Well, I mean, obviously I had 2 weeks off. I have a lot of work to do starting tomorrow, just kind of following up on things and people have reached out to me while I was gone. I won't lie, it's tough. It's very different from having a full-time job where you go in, you know what you're kind of going to have every day with your routine or what projects you're working on. Freelancing is nothing like that. I mean, it's a lot of hustle. It's a lot of reaching out to people. It's a lot of convincing people to work with you before you even get that work. So it's definitely a tough life. You know, I'm juggling with how much longer do I want to do it another year? Do I want to go back full time? I mean, I'm lucky I live in New York City where I have a lot of opportunity. So no matter what it is that I choose to do, whether I go back to a full-time job or not, like I have those opportunities. So I know I'm really grateful that I can make a decision either way. Matt says, should I do the Disney college program? I didn't do it, but I have many friends who all enjoyed it. Heard nothing but great things about it. You meet a lot of interesting people. You get to live with a lot of like new friends and stuff. Some of these people I know I've made like lifelong friends through the program. It's not always easy. It's not always glamorous. You know, sometimes you might be working, you know, quick service, you know, even though maybe you want to be a character or whatever it might be, you know, but you do get to learn the ins and outs of being a cast member, which is cool. You get to go through traditions, which is their training. I went through traditions when I became a cast member, and that alone is just a really awesome experience, and to really see things from the other side. So I think if you have the ability to apply to the college program, go for it. It is competitive, but I know people who have applied multiple times and then eventually have gotten in for whatever semester. I do know it's tough if you apply for the holidays, like if you're going for the fall through winter season, because you really don't get to go home for like Christmas and stuff, because you know, the parks are open 365. So keep that in mind if that's something that you're considering. Maybe you'd want to try to get into like the spring program. Would you ever move down to the Orlando area if it was the right situation? That is a good question too. I don't know. I guess because I live in a place where we have so much here, and I feel like Orlando as a place to live is not really my cup of tea. I enjoy visiting it because I enjoy what it has to offer for tourists. But living in New York City is just such a different beast, and I just don't know if I would like fit in with Orlando life. I guess it would have to be like, you know, my freelancing is going really well, Peter gets some awesome job there, then sure, that would make sense and I would do it for a time. I don't think I would stay there like permanently or anything, but it would be hard. That would be a very different kind of life for me. Jacob says, I did. I'm enjoying it. It's growing so much right now. The traffic is terrible, though. Yeah, I don't even drive. I'm actually getting my license this year because when you live in New York City, you don't really need one. Like, my entire life, I have taken subways. I have taken buses. And even as an adult, you need to get somewhere else quicker. You just take an Uber, you know? So I'm actually getting my license this year. Because there are talks, Peter and I talk about possibly moving out of the city. It's a bit expensive. And so if we go somewhere else, I will have to drive. So I can't even imagine sitting in traffic. It's just such a weird thing for me. Hey, Andre, going to the parks in April. Awesome. April is a really nice time to go. Weather's usually pretty good. And it's super, super fun. And it's like the crowds are pretty good in April as well. What about moving to LA to be near Disneyland? I feel like that'd be a little more likely. I have some friends there already. So there's that. The weather is beautiful. Again, I would need to drive because traffic's even worse there. Also, LA would have far more opportunity for like what Peter and I do for work. Like, we're in marketing because that's the whole of New York. Like, that's really what a lot of jobs here are for. So we would have to go someplace like that, I think. Yeah, I would love to live near Disneyland. I mean, my friend Keith goes to Disneyland like every weekend, and I'm so jealous, and he never gets bored of it. Like, they'll go, he doesn't even go to like necessarily rush on rides or anything anymore. He like goes literally to just like hang with friends. Like that's the place you go to just chill, you know, when you live there. So I love the idea of that. Wallace's thoughts on Universal theme parks. I like them. I don't love them. I did Harry Potter for the first time last year, and I thought it was unbelievable. Like I thought it was just so brilliantly themed, and I loved it. I may have shed a tear when I saw the Hogwarts Express the first time. Like it gave me the kind of feels that like, you know, the castle does. So that was really special to me. And that whole experience with the two parks and Harry Potter is awesome. It's when you get out of that, when it feels dated, because I hadn't been to Universal since before last year. I don't know, it was like 8 to 10 years. And it felt exactly the same. It felt like just nothing had changed. They didn't really have much to offer for me that was that new, especially on the Islands of Adventure side. Like, I feel like all of that was kind of exactly the same. They re-themed Hulk, and I actually like it a little better. I will say that. But everything else is the same, you know? I did Jurassic Park, I did Spider-Man. King Kong was down, and I hear that ride isn't that great anyway. So I think they're okay. I think Harry Potter is a reason for me to keep going a little bit more. I would like to keep going more there, like finding a day to go when I go down to Disney, but like probably only just a day. Oh, thank you for the wish me luck in getting my license. I mean, learning in New York is probably the best place to learn because if I can drive here, I can probably drive anywhere. So... Oh, thanks, Rob. Yes, I would appreciate it if you do like this video. That would be pretty awesome. I'm going to start wrapping up in the next couple of minutes. So if there are any last minute questions, think of a really good one. And I will answer like 2 to 3 more because I'm exhausted. I don't even know like what I'm going to do after this. I feel like I'm just going to sit on my couch and like stare at my TV blankly. Like I'm not even going to turn the TV on. I'm just going to stare at it. I just don't even know like what to do with my body right now. This is a very bizarre feeling. City person getting their license is very intimidating. Good luck. Oh, well, thank you. I will try to get some rest, Rob. I really will. I need it before this whole trip. God. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me. Yeah, let me know if you're going to be around, Jake. I would definitely love to meet up with you again. I know we have before, so hopefully we can connect. Put football on perfect to sleep too. Yeah, I hate football, so that's actually probably a really good idea. Okay, here's 2 good ones. I'll answer these quickly. Lola says, what is your preferred airline? I love JetBlue. JetBlue has a base here in New York and a base in Orlando, so it makes it very easy to choose that as my airline, but I also have their credit card, so I get points for flying them, so I almost like never pay for my flights now down there because I'm using the card for like groceries and other things. I love their customer service. I've never really had an issue with flights being delayed or canceled or anything like that. I just think that they're really great. So that's my preferred airline. Matt says, my friends and I are going to Disney. My friend is going for the first time. What are hits and misses? Also, he likes Star Wars. So then go to Hollywood Studios, no matter what anyone else says about it being a small park, because all of your Star Wars stuff is there and he's going to love it. Make sure that he meets BB-8 and Kylo Ren and Chewbacca and does the whole launch bay thing. There's the fireworks at the end of the night. There's a stage show a couple of times throughout the day. Apparently they just added new Last Jedi stuff into the launch bay where you walk through. You can see like different props and things. There's even an area you can walk back to that's like where the new Star Wars land is going to be. And they have this big image of the Millennium Falcon you can take a photo in front of. There's Star Tours, so take him there for sure. I would say it really depends on what you're into, but I say the big hits are do all of the mountains, Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, Big Thunder, do Everest, do Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, do Mission Space, Test Track, Soarin', Spaceship Earth. If you don't really like the more low-key stuff, then maybe walking around World Showcase might be a miss. That might be boring for you. If you guys are like adults and not into like Fantasyland rides, you could probably skip most of Fantasyland if that's not your jam. If you don't want to go on Winnie the Pooh, that's cool. But definitely take them to Hollywood Studios for sure. And then last question, will you go down sometime in the spring, summertime? I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, it might be a shorter trip, like a Thursday to Sunday or something like that. But if I do, I always let you guys know. So I will 100% let you guys know if I plan to go down then. Anyway, I am going to be signing off. I am just falling asleep right now sitting here. I feel like I'm on drugs, and like I don't do drugs, so I guess this is what this feels like, because it's weird. I'm having like out of body experiences here, man. It's really weird. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you again to all the new subscribers. It's been just mind-blowing how fast the channel's been growing. And yeah, I will be down there starting Thursday, so follow me on Instagram. I will be doing live there. I'll be taking photos there. Follow me on Twitter if you want to meet up with me in the parks. And yeah, hopefully I'll meet a bunch of you guys. All right. Thank you guys. I'll see you later. Bye.